Welcome back. Welcome back to Between Miles.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to talk about our top tips for if you are beginning to run.
Yeah.
If you are starting to run. You just picked up running.
Yeah, you just laced up those shoes.
Yeah.
And go.
I think what we can maybe talk about, Liz, is a little bit about how we started running.
Yes.
And based on our experience, basically our top tips if you are just getting into it.
Yeah.
You haven't run a 10K before, a half marathon before. This is you saying, you know what, I'm going to start running.
Yeah.
So how did you start running? When did you start running? And maybe also a little bit about your why.
Yeah. So I started running, like I feel like most people these days, in lockdown. I was partying really hard, and I was like, I need to do some health up in here. So I started running. I did go to the gym quite a bit, but I definitely didn't like cardio, which is funny because obviously I was a swimmer.
Yes.
But yeah, lockdown, started running, was always doing 5Ks, and met a couple of people in the park, and they were like, you know, you could go maybe like a 10K, but you just got to slow it down. And then slowly found distance through that. So yeah, I guess I just carried on running, finding joy in meeting new people. So
you started to get healthier, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then once you start doing it a bit, I think people are always like, oh, but it's so hard. Like, I don't like running. And it's not that the more you run, it becomes easier. It's just the more you run, I guess that pace becomes easier. So you push yourself more.
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay. Yeah, I think people are always like, when's running going to become easy? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't still find it easy when I'm running
Yeah.
like certain races. But yeah, that's how I found running. How about you? How did you find running? You ran way before, didn't you?
I
back.
Yeah, I think I started running for real when I was studying.
Yeah.
So it was probably I want to say the second year of my bachelor's, and I started to run. And I really started to run because I was drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And I could just see the weight that I had gained, and I realized I need to do something about this. And obviously running is the easiest thing that you can do. Like, you don't need a gym membership. I had some shoes, so I just started to run. And I didn't have a plan. I would just go out in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And do I remember. Oh, very loud here. Okay. Okay, so I started, I think, running about 5 kilometers.
Yeah.
I used Runkeeper, the app at that time, to just track it.
Oh God, I don't even know if I've heard of that one.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I think it was quite big. I'm not sure about now. I think they got bought by Essex at some point.
Ah, okay.
Anyway, so I used that to track my runs. I started building up, and I think I found it very addictive to just, run a little bit more, run a little bit faster. And then before I knew it, I was running around like 10K, 11, 12. And I did kind of stop there. Like, I found that a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did that for years.
Yeah.
Without any change. Then actually during COVID, when you started,
yeah,
I stopped.
Okay.
Which is funny maybe, but I hit this milestone of running a half marathon, which I had done 2 times before in my own training. I was supposed to do it on this specific date. But obviously the half marathon was cancelled because COVID.
Yeah.
But me and my friends, we ran it ourselves.
Oh, nice.
I made our own medals.
Amazing.
And yeah, like when I finished that, something broke for me. I was kind of done with running.
Yeah.
And then I started again a year and a half ago. And I think the way I started a year and a half ago might be more relatable for some people.
Yeah.
Well, although I think both things are probably relatable. A year and a half ago, I did not start necessarily because of health, but I just had friends that were running.
Yeah.
And they had signed up for a marathon, and I thought, yeah, that's cool. Maybe I can sign up for a half and train for that. I think I can get back, to a level where I can run that.
Yeah.
And I did that, and that's how I got back into it.
I think that might be very relatable for people, especially in big cities, that their friends go to run clubs.
Yeah.
And everyone sort of it's very in vogue at the moment, isn't it, running?
Yeah, I think it's gotten so popular.
It's very trendy. So
yeah.
I feel like that some people might get into running because their friends are,
Yeah.
or it's very in at the moment.
And it's so easy to do.
It's so easy.
Like, you can do it anywhere. You can also do it when you're traveling, which was something I always really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So when I was running before, but I did not really have a plan yet, I would go run on vacations. I remember being on holiday with my parents in Italy, and we went to Turin and Milan and Bologna. And even though it was
Oh my God, dogs! A bit taller than I thought I was.
and I would discover those places like running, and then I would go out later in the day with my parents, and I would be like, "Wow, I've already seen so much."
Yeah.
And I realized even where I lived as a student, I got to know the city so much better because I was running it.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that aspect always. So based on the way we got into running, the way we see friends now starting to run,
Yeah.
what would you say are some essential tips for beginners?
Ooh, essential tips. Wait until these guys go past.
No, obstacle course.
Yeah, so I guess some initial things is, one, not to get wrapped up in the purchasing of running. I think so many people that start running see people wearing these, like, you know, Alpha Flies.
Yeah.
And don't want to call names on the shoes, but, you know, all these fast shoes are like £300 and all this like really expensive gear, which is great. Love it. It's cool to be fashionable and running, but it's not like, you don't need it.
No, I think so. I think it can actually lead to injuries if you go out in shoes that are made for speed when you're not there yet. Plus, normally, a lot of your runs should be easy.
Yeah, 80-20 rule.
Get a bit of a neutral trainer, right?
Yeah, and go and get your, I mean, you definitely don't have to have this done, but I think
if you can,
go and get your gait analysed.
Yeah.
There's loads of places that are free in London.
In London.
Well, sorry. Yeah. I was just going to shout out Run Limited because John T's amazing. But obviously everywhere in the world there's always free places. But
like, you know.
But yeah, if you can go and do that, then that'll probably really help with finding the perfect shoe. And once you have a shoe that's comfortable, not going to give you injury, you're set. You can go and run. That's all you need.
I think I would also say to those who don't live in a city, like ourselves at the moment, you could do this when you go on vacation or are on a trip. You know, like maybe buy just a very like normal balanced pair for now.
Yeah.
So you can go out if you're like, I just want to start running now. Okay, get something with good, let's say like good reviews. Just do a bit of research. But then when you do get to the city, do this.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't buy another pair of shoes then, it will be good for the future.
Yeah. And it's not like you need to go out and buy a special pair of shoes. Like if you have a pair of shoes that you run in and you're fine, just go out and run in them. Like, it's
just make sure they're comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think shoes are indeed one of the most important tips.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I think like second tip.
Yeah.
On my side, it's like see if you can just follow a little plan.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially when you get into running, even if you don't want to do any races, just to build up.
Yeah.
Follow a plan because it will help you to not get injured.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's like, it's a big risk.
And I think it's to understand that 80-20 rule. I think that 80-20 rule is thrown around a lot, but if you haven't been running or you don't know the running world, and you're just doing maybe like a 5K once a week, but you want to start doing a couple more runs, it's like, what does the 80-20 rule look like for someone who's in that position? And I think a plan can really help you with that, because you're then they're taking that information and saying, this is how you need to change up your runs or add some in, because you don't want to be adding any more than really 10% each week if you're building up distance.
Yeah, especially at the start.
Yeah,
Like later on, it becomes even less.
yeah,
When you're running a lot, then 10% can be also a lot.
yeah.
But yes, I think at the start, the 80-20 rule is just, it's a good one to generally follow. What would be another tip that you would give to, say, a friend that would start running now?
I think explore, this is kind of like a bit of a different one, I guess, but explore trail versus road.
Yeah.
I'm really sad.
We need to go left. Straight.
Straight, actually.
Straight?
Yep.
Oh, we can say hi to this puppy here. Oh, it's okay.
Hi.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a good guard.
Hello.
You got her. Money.
He's friendly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, this is definitely coming from me as a trail runner, because most people that start running, I think if you live out in the trails or you live out in outdoor places, you probably do already run a bit. But if you're out in the city, you're probably going to start running, you know, in the city, in maybe parks at most. And I think I really want to advocate for people trying trail.
Yeah. Explore something else.
Explore something new. And I know that it doesn't come that easy to everyone if you live in the city.
Yeah.
And that is a privilege to be able to go and find trails. But I think
even if you live in a city, like you might be able to get public transport on the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
And head out a little bit.
And I think there is so much joy in trail running. And it can also be like taking your, you know, just going out and just enjoying a little hike.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think that really helps your running in the long haul.
Yeah.
And just getting that cardio up so that when you next think about, maybe going for a little bit of a longer run, you can start building that in with some walking.
Yeah.
And it always helps to be somewhere beautiful instead of a city.
Exactly.
So a bit of a rogue tip there.
Yeah.
But it's something I wish that I'd thought about more when I started running.
Yeah.
For sure. I thought you could only do track, you could only do around the city, you could only do run clubs. Yeah. I didn't even think about exploring the outdoor world.
I didn't even know, like, track for me was something completely new and came later down the line.
Yeah.
Which I actually love now. So I think like trying to explore all three. I would encourage people to do that and to see what you like. And usually for me, the mix of all three is where the magic is at.
Yeah.
So I think those are really good tips. Another thing is, of course, the watch.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is something that will come up quite early for people.
And we'll talk about this in a later episode in way more detail.
Yeah, we will talk about gear in detail and everything that you might want or need. Kind of like a beginner guide to running gear.
Yeah.
But I think with a watch, the one thing I would want to say is when you just start running, just buy something to carry your phone, use an app, and then when you know, okay, I actually like running, or I'm getting some kind of joy out of this, then invest maybe in a watch and you don't necessarily have to go for the most expensive model.
No.
But there is just a benefit to having it with training.
Yeah, 100%. Like, for example, I mean, if you already have an Apple Watch, loads of people do these days, you can use that. But if you were then to, you know, go into more of the land of watches, they're not even beginner watches. They're just made for, you know, city running, small runs. But like all you need for running.
I mean, look at the Coral Space or the Garmin Forerunner or the Suunto. I
did my first 100k with the Garmin Forerunner, and it lasted me absolutely fine. So they've only upgraded to this huge monstrosity, which is amazing because of like really long runs. Yeah, but none of that's necessary.
No, and then I think one more tip would be, you might struggle with motivation in the beginning sometimes.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, obviously running should be fun, but it's not always going to be fun.
No.
And
like anything you do in life, right?
Yeah, you might ask, then why do we do it? But any sport, especially if you want to progress a little bit, will be hard every now and then.
Yeah.
Like I go out surfing and I plateaued for a year.
Yeah.
But you still go out to progress. Running is the same.
Yeah.
So to keep yourself motivated, I would say, first of all, know why you do it. Are you doing this to get fitter? Are you doing it to clear your head on the trails? Are you doing it because it's some kind of meditation? Are you doing it to run with friends? Like the social aspect. There can be a lot of whys for you.
Yeah.
It can also be the sense of just fulfillment and achieving something, like getting a bit faster, getting a bit stronger. There's so many potential whys.
Yeah.
But try to find what it is for you, because it will help to stay motivated. And then, obviously, maybe follow some people that you find inspiring in the scene.
Yeah.
To me, if I see other people go out for a run, sometimes that really, fires me up.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah, I also want to go. How do you motivate yourself?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, let's say for beginners.
Okay, so for me, taking it back to when I started running,
Yeah.
I didn't do the 80-20 rule, so take this with a pinch of salt. I only thought I thought you had to PB every single time that you went out for a run, which I actually think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I've heard so many other runners that say the same thing when they started running.
Yeah.
But for me, it was seeing a faster time. So by doing that, you could do the 80-20 rule, but maybe like do a local park run, do some little local races, and see that progression. I really enjoyed seeing faster times, even though now I'm an ultra runner and I don't run fast.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was just like, wow, I can do that a minute faster.
Yeah.
Wow, I can do that. So for me, it was the progression.
Yeah.
Knowing that I was getting better. And I think secretly I'm a little bit competitive. So
You get competitive with yourself.
yeah, exactly. So that was a real motivation for me.
Yeah. I think we cannot close off this episode without mentioning something that we also talk about in other ones, but in other episodes. But you gotta recover.
Yeah.
If I had a friend now starting to run, I would urge them to maybe start running 3 or 4 days a week, slowly build up, do it very easily, and on those rest days, don't go hiking in the mountains. I know that's very tempting, but you gotta let your muscles get used to running. Over time, they will get stronger. You can do strength training, mobility. There's a lot that you can do.
Exactly.
And maybe look that up.
And fueling.
Yeah.
Fueling. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah. A huge topic as well, but make sure you don't run dehydrated.
Yeah.
Make sure you eat enough protein, especially before, after your runs, carbs. Don't be afraid of carbs, people.
Yeah.
Embrace pasta.
It's the unsexy things, isn't it? It's like people, I think myself included, want to hear you can do this and you'll become great at running. You can do that. And it's like, actually, it's just consistency.
Yeah.
Slowly building.
And
eating right. The really unsexy things. We're here to remind you.
For sure. So I'd say it wraps it up nicely for if you're beginning with running.
It does. Go this way. Going round.
This one. Okay, cool.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
That's a good
and I
place
think
to...
with a lot of these things, we will go deeper in the future.
We will.
But if you're watching this and you are in the position of, I've just started running or I want to start running, then I hope these tips help.
Yeah.
Rewatch it if you want a good summary.
Yeah.
Get the right shoes, follow a plan, follow an 80-20 rule, recover hard. Don't immediately buy into running fashion or an expensive watch.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Explore, go to the track, go on roads, go on trail.
And the biggest one, just have fun.
Yeah, just have fun.
Just have fun.
That's a perfect example.
Walk if you need to. Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, don't feel like you always need to run. You can walk every now and then as well.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. That was
Awesome.
this episode.
Nice.
All right, see you in the next Between Miles.
See ya.
Nice.